Hello, winners, and welcome to Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Will. Last week, we looked at the AFC teams and did our season over-under win projections. Today, we are doing the NFC, and for those of you who follow us, you know two of our favorite teams reside in the NFC, so going to be a fun episode. But before we jump into it, please be sure to subscribe, share, and follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. If you agree with some of our predictions and you think you want to put a little money on it, or you disagree and want to go the opposite direction, consider Hard Rock Bet, and you can find the sign up for them in our description. Happy Friday, Nick.
Happy Friday, Will. Hello, winners.
Cannot wait. Definitely want to talk through these episodes or these teams, and I think obviously you know already which way I'm going, sporting. I'm feeling a lot of love for the green and gold this year.
Yeah, you said the same thing last year. It was tremendous.
Yeah, they made the playoffs. Did Dallas make the playoffs?
No, I projected they didn't, but you didn't project them to go in the playoff and lose the first round. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
already good to start. So we take it division by division. So Nick and I will talk about the teams in the division. We'll share based on the betting odds as of the time of this recording, what the over-under is on the season win totals. We'll pick if we think it's going to go over and under, and then we'll also pick the division winners as we see it right now. So with that, first up, you want to go first?
Oh, go ahead.
NFC East, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, defending Super Bowl champions, and the Washington Commanders.
We agree on something.
Yeah, I know, right? On that. So let's see. Let's start with the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. Over under win total 11 and a half. I didn't even say the number. He went under.
No, under. If it was 10 and a half, I would be under as well. I mean,
really?
I think last year was clearly an amazing line. They had the best O-line in the country.
And D-line.
Babe, OID, amazing. No, it's going to be the Chargers, I think, who will have those lines. But for the Eagles, I love Barkley. I hate to admit it that I love an Eagle. I used to love Kelsey before he retired. And Barkley, it's impossible to go against him. But again, it's the line. I mean, if you have a hole, he will go in it, and then you cannot catch him. But if you don't have a hole, he's going to run through some, but he's going to crash like he was doing at the Giants. You know, he was a good quarterback, but not great. And that's, I think, what's going to happen again this year. They lost too much on the O-line, and I think that's gonna make them fall a little bit. And yeah, I predict them to win 10 games, 10-7. That's what I think will happen for the Eagles. So I have them under.
Wow. I will also go under, but I'm not going 10-7. I think they'll be 11-6. Their GM,
Great.
he fleeces people in trades. And so they always keep stockpiling talent. But when you look at, I like Barkley as well, and he's a great leader besides that. But you look at running backs who ran for 2,000 plus yards, and the next season there's always a drop off. Like it's just inevitable. And to your point about their O-line, I think the Eagles could be as strong as they were last year, but not have as good a record. So I will go under as well. I'll say 11-6. You say 10-7. All right. Next up, let's see, is Commanders. Commanders over under win total is 9.5.
Commanders I'm struggling with because everything seems to go the direction that they're gonna have a fantastic year. But I also know that a quarterback going into the sophomore year can have a drop, even though I love Daniels. He's spectacular. But I'm a little bit afraid about them. I'm afraid about McLaurin now, who is on a hold because of a contract negotiation issue. If McLaurin is not there, I go under automatically. So I'm really torn. I like the addition of the team, both on the draft and on the trades. But I will go over. I think it's gonna be a 10-7 as well. So I would go over, but barely over. That would be my prediction.
We're 2 for 2 now. I mean, same thing, same record too. I think they will be 10-7. I think a lot of things went right last year, and they kind of built their team last year a little bit like the early Patriots 2000 before their dynasty really kicked off, where they got a lot of mid-level veterans that come in
Mhm.
at a decent price. They made contributions. Um, I like the fact that they got Debo. I think it's a low risk move because he's either going to contribute or he doesn't, but it didn't cost him a lot. But if he contributes, I mean, that offense is even more dynamic because he can also play a role in the run game with those jet sweeps. So I will go over. I say Commanders 10-7.
There you go.
Next up, how about them Cowboys? Jerry Jones trying to screw up negotiation 101. If anybody wants a book on how to do negotiations, just watch Jerry Jones and do the opposite, and you'll be fine. Now, he must have been a great negotiator when it came to oil deals because that's how he made his money. But as a football negotiator, that man does more to alienate his top players than anybody I've seen, but at least in the NFL, because I won't talk about Sterling from the Clippers back in the day, but in any event, Cowboys over under 7.5. To my partner's credit, last year he was very objective. Said I don't think Dallas is going to have a good year. They did not. Of course, there was injuries, but still, they did not have a good year. So 7.5 this year. What are your feelings on this one?
Thank you. I agree with you with everything you said about Jerry Jones and everything like that. That's ridiculous. Parsons should have a contract by now, like since for a year and a half already. But it is what it is. We cannot control what we control. Last year, I didn't say that they're gonna have another as that good of a year. I said they're not gonna make the playoffs. By the way, and I'm always objective. I never pick with my heart. Like I always pick for whatever I really believe, and I believe they will have a fantastic year this year. I believe so. I don't think that they're gonna struggle again the same way with all the injuries, the surgeries. Because if we didn't have Dak out for that long, there is no way on earth we don't have two more wins, and with two more wins, we're in the playoff. So I don't see this year be anything different than that. So I think that we got better in the running back position, which is not difficult. We got better in the wide receiver position with Pickens. We'll see what he's gonna do. We got better in the defensive hand. The struggle I have is that we didn't get better in the running defense, and I think teams will run all over us again, which is annoying. But I think for the other position, I feel a lot stronger. So do I believe that we're gonna go for the top of the NFC? No, but I think we're gonna finish. I think it's 3 out of 3, 10-7 as well, like Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. I think that's gonna be the what I see happening.
Wow. All right. I did not expect to hear a 10-7 Cowboy team.
I look at the schedule and I just looked. I think 11 is realistic, but I said we gotta lose something that I feel we should win, so I would go 10.
All right. I will go over, but I'm going over at like 8-9.
Mhm.
So though I think 8-9, I think they missed the playoffs. I I think Schottenheimer could be a one and done coach. If Dallas struggles, there's no way they're going to keep him for another year. I was still shocked at the hire, the to make him a hire. Now he has great lineage. His father was a all-time great coach, even though he couldn't get to the Super Bowl. But he made the Browns really strong, made Chargers really strong. We'll see. We'll see if he has it in him. But I think the Commanders are tough. The Eagles are tough, and I don't know. I don't know. I see 8-9. I hope for your sake I'm wrong, but I don't see them as a playoff
So
team.
for the listeners, the Cowboys are going to play at home against the Green Bay Packers last weekend of September, and your favorite co-host will be live in stadium doing interview to on the field after the game, and I wanna ask my co-host. I want to do a $250 bet. Then the Cowboys are gonna beat the Packers. If you lose,
Beat them straight up.
250
Win line?
250 money line.
Yeah, in.
You take it.
Oh,
So you hear
100%.
it. You hear
Oh,
it
yeah.
here. 250
Oh,
money
yeah.
line. Cowboys beating Green Bay.
Oh my gosh. And you know what I'm going to use some of that winnings with? I'm going to buy you a Green Bay jersey. You got to wear. So you'll get it back. Partially.
Guess what I'm gonna buy you when I win? Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's apropos. All right. So we have our first wager of the year. So good. Giants over under 5.5.
I think the line is pretty damn good. I'm hesitating between 5 and 6. So I look at the schedule as well for the Giants. I don't see them going. I think they will be better, way better than that next year. I really like their additions. I think that Nibers will be even better because he will have a quarterback to throw him the ball.
Yes.
I like the scheme that they have with I know it's a preseason. I mean, it's the training camp, but everything I see or hear or read, it's the best camaraderie. Everything seems to be positive. There is no contract negotiation going on there for nothing. But I think they're still very young and very limited in important spots. And when I look at their schedule, it's brutal. I mean, I don't see them winning more than 2 games in the first 8. I was looking, I'm like, I don't see it. It should be 1-7. Like, I don't know. I will go under, but I think that's going to be a better team to watch.
I'm going over. I am in on Neighbors year 2. I love Neighbors year 1. Abdul Carter. I mean, you can't put too much into training camp, but he's crushing it so far. So if you got Carter on one side, Thibodeau on the other, and then they traded for Burke 2 years ago from Carolina, that's a hell of a 3-man defensive end rotation. And I'm also in on Ward. I think I've seen some of these clips of what I'm getting a little bit of Jaden Daniels vibe. Like, he doesn't have the mobility like Jaden Daniels, but some of these throws.
I loved him at Ole Miss. He was so spectacular.
Yeah, I'm going over. I think the Giants could have as many as 7 wins. I think 7.
The reason why Abdul Carter, he rubbed me the wrong way when he asked Taylor to wear his number.
Yeah,
I think that's where I literally I just took a step back. Oh, there, he better be spectacular. He's
got the bravado to ask.
Yeah, but I knew other people who ask for stuff in the beginning of their career, and then you don't even hear them year 3. True. So I'm like, if he has a fantastic season, if he's like the clear, like top 2 rookie of the year, then I think it's great because he backed up on his dare to ask that. Otherwise, I think it's going to be very bad for his image, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. But I like what they're doing with the Giants.
Me too.
And we'll see how it goes. So, all right. So we were the same on 3 and differed on the Giants.
So who to win?
Oh, I think the Eagles repeat. You have 3 teams at 10-7. So who's winning the tiebreaker for you? But I think I had the Eagles at 11-6, Washington 10-7, Dallas at 8-9, and the Giants. I'll give them the benefit of about 7-10.
It's very hard for me to pick. I mean, I could really go all 3. I don't have I mean, I will go for. I will say the Eagles repeat, but on really not any kind of. I don't feel good about it, but I would pick the Eagles, I guess, in the tiebreaker. But it could be either way. I wouldn't be shocked if the Cowboys win or if the Redskins wins. But again, it's been Redskins. But it's been since 2004 that someone repeat. So let's say I go Redskins.
Is that your final answer?
Because that doesn't happen back to back in NFC East.
You follow that division closer than I do. I just think Philadelphia is a more complete team, but I hope you're right. I would rather see Washington win. All right, next up, NFC North: Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings. I know this is going to be a spirited chat. So let's. Who do they have as the lead? Lions over under 10.5 wins.
I take under.
Really?
I take under. I think the Lions. I loved the Campbell. I loved them last year. I think Gibbs is phenomenal. I love Goff, but I think that's the year too much for Goff. I think I see Goff dropping. There was a lot of injuries last year. It's still pending. A lot of injuries right now. When I saw the training camp program thing, and uh, unfortunately, I think that the Lions last year, that was their chance when they had like 22 people on the injury list. I have a feeling that they're gonna drop this year big time. So your co-host will be live in LA for the Rams against the Detroit Lions in December. I think it's the 15 or
Yeah,
16.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that game in
Me
the
too.
SoFi Stadium. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that I go under 10-7.
I am the same, but for slightly different. Well, the injuries play a role, and the fact that they already suffered another injury. I'm just like, this team is cursed, and I feel, even though they're in my division, I feel for them because true Lions fans, like they haven't had a lot to cheer about for decades. And last year, I agree, was their year, and they got snake bitten, and and I think they would have beat Philadelphia if they were fully
Oh,
healthy.
100%.
And then we're talking about the Lions as Super Bowl champions, as crazy as that would be. I also love Campbell. I also think, um, you know, they're in for a downturn, even though for them, 10-7 isn't much of a downturn. I still think they make the playoffs, but I go under as well. All right. The next one, they have Vikings at over under 9.5.
I'm a you will. I'm a believer of the Vikings. I really am a believer of the Vikings. I think McCarty. It's not about McCarty. Any quarterback in that offense, if you have an arm, I think you will make it there. I mean, I really get to appreciate more and more the coach, who is a Shanahan kind of, coming from Shanahan tree, and I think that he will continue to impress. I just hope. I normally don't pick on hope, but I hope that Jefferson is not gonna go the rabbit hole of hamstring injuries, like chronic hamstring injuries. But they have Addison and they have others. I mean, they drafted well as well. So I will go over as well, but barely over. So probably also a 10-7.
Okay, I am going to go under, but I will say, as much as this pains me to say, I really appreciate the stability of the organization. The owner, Ziggy Wolf, he's not like makes these crazy decisions and fires everybody on a whim. Their GM, their drafting is really good,
Mm-hmm.
and their head coach is a great offensive play caller. My concern isn't with the Vikings offense. Their offense will be prolific. I worry about their defense. They're deep, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting a little longer in the tooth on the back end with like Harrison and some of those guys, and I just don't know. You know, like where's the pass rush going to come from? You know, and they got rid of Hunter last year and stuff. So it's more the defense that I
Mm-hmm.
think with the Vikings,
Fair.
and I think they'll have a winning record, but I think they'll be 9-8. But I must say, I like the way they handle their business. They, you know, they're
Good.
not a. There's some organizations like the Bengals with Mike Brown, and I hate to say it, but Jerry Jones with the Cowboys, where you're like, you know,
I agree.
it's goofy. But the Vikings, they're 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 stable, and stable is not bad.
No, no, no.
All right, Green Bay over under nine. I know what you're going to pick, but
Hmm?
over under 9.5 wins.
I'm not saying that Green Bay are bad. I think Green Bay. I just am not a believer of Love. I mean, Love had a great half year 2 years ago. I don't see anything else about Love. I like the quarterback, but the running back. Sorry, but Jacobs. The problem is that I follow Jacobs since Alabama. And then I remember he went to the Raiders and I loved him there, but he got hurt every single year. Last year, he stayed healthy. And that's the part that I think that if he gets injured, I'm not sure they don't have Dillon anymore. I mean, I'm not sure what they can do if he got injured, since I don't trust Love behind the line. I think Jackie Jacobs helped him a lot because put pressure on the defensive line. But if he got injured, then everybody will go running on Love, and I think that's gonna be the done part. I love their tight hands.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I just it's just the case, and I'm a Longhorns fan, so of course I love the addition of Golden.
Oh, and he's
Um,
killing it already. I don't know
mhm.
if you've seen these highlights already of bombs that they're throwing, and he's just now Green Bay's secondary isn't great, but go ahead, finish your
No,
thought.
and
Sorry.
I agree. I think the line is very very well again. I hesitate all the time before this. Am I going to be under? Am I gonna be over? I'm gonna go over. I think that's gonna be 10-7. They lose to the Cowboys, of course, but for the rest, I think that they lose to the Vikings at least one time, and they lose. I think they lose to every single team of the Division One, so it's gonna be 1-1 for the three teams. Um, so it's 3-4 loss already, and then a couple of more. But yeah, so that's my pick.
Yeah, I'm going over. Packers were 11-6 last year, going 1-5 in the division. They haven't been that poor in the division in a long time. I do not expect them to go 1-5 in the division again. I think your comment is fair. I could see 3-3 in the division, where they split the series with the teams. Although the Bears, yeah, we'll talk about the Bears in a little bit. Um, I mean, the Packers only lost. I mean, they lost to the Eagles twice at the beginning of the year and then in the playoffs. If you look at their losses were all by less than one score. Now, we talked about this with Kansas City last year, where they won a lot of one
Close games.
possession games. So, that could also come back to the norm for the Packers. But their O line is better. They draft an O line. Golden looks like the real deal. Tucker Craft continues to break out. Uh, a name to watch is Marshawn Lloyd, is the running back they drafted last year. He got hurt,
Mm.
but he's an explosive back, so it's kind of like the thunder and lightning. So that's a name to watch. Defense, Rashawn or Kenny was hurt. Kenny Clark was hurt last year. That came out and affected him. And Love was hurt last year, and it affected him. I think Luca Van Ness, this is a make or break year for him. He was a first round draft pick for them a couple of years ago. Green Bay has to have pressure on the D line because their secondary isn't going to be as good. Valentin is looking like he might break out. They got Hobbs from the Raiders, but he's not like a tier one starter. Um, and if they don't get pressure on the quarterback, the secondary will be exposed. But the name to watch on defense, Edgerrin Cooper. Man, that linebacker from Texas. Oh. So I think I will go over on the Packers, over 9.5 wins.
Here we go. There you go. Long soliloquy to say the same thing. You can just say, Nick, you're right. So
Yeah, but different reasons.
I just love also your coach Lafleur. Lafleur is like consistent. I really like the coach in this division. I mean, we're gonna go to the Bears after, and I'm not sure about that one, but the three other one, I think they have really good coaches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. So Bears over under 8.5.
Under.
Yeah.
I
Why?
don't
Why for
believe
you?
Williams.
Yes.
I'm not a Williams believer. He was not impressive in Oklahoma, not impressive in USC, and people keep saying, "Oh, well, you look at his stats and stuff," but he's not a winner. He's not a winner. He can do the typical for me like a Williams. He will do some amazing action, some amazing plays, and that people say, "Wow, wow," and that's where people look at the talent. But when you need something consistently, he's nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found at Sooners, nowhere to be found at Trojans, nowhere to be found the first year at the Bears. And always bunch of excuses because of the coach didn't utilize him, because he didn't have the protection, because his defense is not good enough. And I can hear it. I mean, the ladder of accountability in that team is very low. I don't believe in it. And the coach, I think that I love Dave Campbell and what happened with Johnson. That he was like fighting pretty much internally about him. That doesn't sit well with me because he probably has his way to do it is very different. I think that from what I heard already, he's focusing 100% of his energy into Williams. And I think that's going to be the drop because if Williams, something happened to him or that he start bad, what are they going to do? So I think that they're going under.
I agree. I'm glad you brought up the thing about him and Campbell because that didn't sit well with me either. I the Bears on paper, they look so good. But if you don't have the quarterback,
Mm-mm.
he threw 2 red zone picks in practice yesterday. I mean, you can't turn the ball over in the red zone. And I know it's practice, but I am going under as well. All right, let's move on. Interesting division. NFC South, Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, and Tampa. Let's start on. Let's see who's got the over under highest wins is Buccaneers,
Yeah.
9.5.
I love this division. That's gonna be interesting. Gonna go a little bit faster. We gotta get in time. Tampa Bay. Ahmed, what's the line?
9.5.
9.5. I go over. I think that Baker is the definition that you can come out of the ashes and change
Yeah.
team a couple of times and actually do something. I'm never someone who liked him on college. Of course, he was a Sooners guy. But I have to say, like he won me over with his grit, his grind, and I love their running back. I think the running back will be freaking impressive. And their defense, they really focus a lot in building their defense currently. My only concern is probably outside of Evans. Evans gets older, and
And Godwin. What are you going
Godwin
to get with Godwin? I
always
don't
get
know.
hurt and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that on those aspects, I'm a little bit worried. So but I think they're gonna run the ball a lot.
I like what Baker does. I mean, I was big on them last year on their offense for a while. They got off to the fast start. That division, I don't know. It's always weird. I'm going to go under, but I think 9-8. I don't think they'll have a losing record, but I'm going to go under because the next team is a team that I'm.
Atlanta.
Yep, and they're over under 7.5.
Yeah, they go over. I think they go over Bijan. I mean, free Bijan. That would be my stuff. I mean, he had the first coach Smith who went to Pittsburgh after, who utilized him like 50% of the time because he wanted to have Algier running as much as him. Then change the coach, and the new coach comes in and he's doing barely a little bit better, 60% of the. I mean, I'm like, come on, let him run. Just you don't need you need a backup, of course, to let him breathe 1 or 2 plays. But you cannot have like, oh, offense number 1 is Bijan, offense number 2 is gonna be Algier. That's not how it works with a back as explosive as Bijan. Look
Right.
his
Feed
numbers.
that man. Feed him.
He's a number 1, crazy number 1. I mean, when you look at the fantasy league, what the expectation is Bijan or I mean
Saquon.
Saquon or Henry, and then he's literally between Bijan and Gibbs.
Yeah.
And he's by far the one who get the least plays. So if you feed him, he's gonna win. And because he's a catcher, he's a blocker, he can do anything. He's fast, he's smart, he's not a problem in the locker room. Be free him. But I think they and then also London. Between London and Bijan, and then hopefully Pitts do something a little bit.
They're finally throwing on the ball in practice, so maybe that means they'll finally unleash Pitts too.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm very bullish on the Falcons. I definitely over and we didn't say who was going to win the NFC North.
No,
We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
I over on the Falcons. All right, Panthers. Panthers tale of 2 seasons last year. They started off slow, finished strong. Over under 6.5. Thoughts on them?
Wow. I think over 7-10. That's what I will pick. I think Young take another step. I love their running back. The running back will Hubbard.
Yeah, Chuba
Herbert.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be way better. I like the wide receiver rookie and the guy who speak barley, or the Southern from South Carolina that we cannot understand anything he's saying.
Yeah.
But I like him as well. So I think, and then defensively they spend a lot of time and energy in building their defense. So they're still young, but I think they will go over.
I agree. I really liked what I saw with Young and the amount of adversity that he faced to dig himself out of it. That tells me something about his character. I like the Panthers to go over as well. Now, here's a difference a week makes. Last week when we were doing this, both the Browns, Saints, Titans, Giants were 5.5. This week now, the Saints have dropped. Now they're 4.5. So over under on the Saints 4.5.
Yeah, they got 2 wins, I think.
Yeah,
I think I have 2 wins for them and 2 wins for Titans. So
I'm going under as well.
So I go under for obvious reasons. They don't have a team.
For those of our winners who watched football in the there was a stretch of time where the Saints, they had the fans called the Aints, and they wore bags over their heads and cut out their eyes and mouth. I think you see the Aints come back. They're in rough shape. NFC West. So I go under as well. NFC West, Arizona, LA, San Francisco, Seattle. Another intriguing division. First team up is the Rams, over under 9.5.
Over. I think that's the year of LA. I think Chargers and last week we discussed them, and Rams will go over. I love the scheme of their team. I love their coach, and I think they're gonna be super explosive with better D line. So I take them over.
I do too. Adding Devontae, nobody's really talking about that, but that's a big move because Puka, you know what he's going to do. Devontae is your number 2. Give me that all day.
And you have Stafford throwing the ball.
Yeah, and the Rams, their running back is good, and their defense was the youngest defense in the league and came on hot towards the end of the year. I'm big on the Rams as well. Have them going over. Next up is wow, I'm sorry I missed that. 49ers at 10.5. So the odds are, Vegas odds are, the 49ers will win the division over the Rams.
Yeah, Hard Rock bets are doing well. I'm going under.
I'm going not only under, I think they missed the playoffs.
Yeah, me too. I don't see them in the playoff neither.
Now, I think the time of reckoning, now that they finally paid Purdy, they lost a lot of talent. Kittle's a year older. You don't know with McCaffrey because of his health.
He's not going to get better. I mean,
it's under. Cardinals, 8.5. Intriguing line.
I go over. I think the Cardinals will be way better this year. They will continue to run the ball nonstop. I think that Kyler Murray will have a very good year. I have a feeling that our Arizona will be way better this year. So I go over.
I like the Cardinals. I'm going to go. I keep thinking 8 and 9 in my head, but it could easily be 9 and 8. I'm going to go under. I'll say they go 8 and 9, but it wouldn't shock me. I do like what they're doing there. Seattle 8.5 over under.
I think they go over.
Really?
I really think people underestimate what the Seattle did. I think they get better with Darnold compared to Smith, and they will run the ball again with Walker II and Chardonnay.
Who do they have as wideouts now, though? Because they traded Metcalf.
They have the young guy that they draft.
Yeah, from Ohio State.
Yeah, so that's gonna be good. They're gonna be younger, of course, because they don't have Matt Clapp, they don't have Lockett anymore. But they're gonna have I think a fresh start. But I will like Darnold, as you know. He's maybe not someone who's gonna win you in the playoff, but it's someone who can get you wins. I will like what he did last year. And they said that they're gonna focus on the offense with around Darnold. So we'll see. I think that they have a potential to go over.
Yeah, I think they have the potential too, but I'm going to go under. I got a 7 and 10 vibe with Seahawks. Not because of Darnold, more because of their defense. Like they got like a no-name defense. You know, and that doesn't mean they're not good, but it's just I don't know. I'm not seeing it. So NFC East, we both picked the Eagles to win the division.
No, I have the Redskins.
Oh, that's right. You changed it. I'm sorry. So I have the Eagles. You have the Commander Redskins. NFC North. Who are you picking?
I pick Minnesota there.
Okay. I'm definitely going Green Bay. NFC South.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm with you. Atlanta. Sign me up all day. NFC West.
Rams.
Rams too. So there you have it. We will take a tally and review at the end of the year to see how we did. But you heard it here first, winners, and there you go. Now we have the NFL complete. That'll do it for this week's episode. Next week, we'll probably talk college because we're coming up on the college kickoff. So we probably should do a preview for that. And then I think we'll follow up with the fantasy football the week after, maybe after we're a couple weeks into the preseason. We'll see.
right.
We'll see how it plays out. Either way, the next 2 weeks we're talking college and we're talking fantasy football. So just depends on the order. But that'll do it for this week. Please be sure to share, subscribe, follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. We're on all of them. And again, agree with us, disagree with us, put your money where your mouth is. Go to Hard Rock Bet in the description and place a wager and see how it works out for you. So that'll do it. Winners, we'll see you next week.
Bye, winners.
Take care.